Hi everyone, Queeveen here from the comfort of my kitchen. In today's video, we are going to yet again take a look into the distant future, or not so distant future to begin with, to take a look at some upcoming events. We're going to begin by taking a look just a couple of years into the future. We are only going as far as 2028, and we will be looking at the pre-dawn sky in October. We will be going up to October the 22nd, I believe, and we will be taking a look at the sky before dawn. For those of you who are now familiar, I have done a couple of videos like this on my channel. If somebody suggests a particularly interesting thing in the sky or a date that is worth looking at, I will take a look at it often without knowing what I'm looking at. And of course, I can already see this does look really nice. So I didn't know why the pre-dawn sky on the 22nd of October would be particularly nice, but now I can see it with Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, and Mars all there in a row. Now, we are looking years into the future. So even though it takes the more distant planets, planets like Uranus and Neptune, even though it does take them a long time to orbit the sun, oh, there's Saturn as well. So as long as you've got a full view of the sky, this is essentially the parade of planets. All of the planets that are visible to the naked eye are up at the same time. Now, there's the Pleiades, and Uranus has been... There we go. Okay, so it is after moving. Uranus was quite close to the Pleiades for most of this year. It's going to be back next to the Pleiades in the morning very soon. So we can see that, over the course of 3 or 4 years here, Uranus has moved a little bit across the sky. But of course, in that same amount of time, we would have seen Mercury leap back and forth to either side of the sun multiple times. So these more distant planets do take a lot longer to noticeably move, which implies to me that Neptune shouldn't be too far away either. But I'm not positive. And looking across the whole ecliptic at the correct level of zoom for Neptune to pop out, that could take a while. So there we go. It looks like it's just under the horizon. I wonder if this can be pulled off. There it is above, well, barely above the horizon. If we get it above the horizon enough, I have an odd feeling that the other planets, yeah, Jupiter and Mercury, have vanished. But that does mean if you are willing to stay up for a reasonable portion of the morning, and as we can see here, this is 5 o'clock in the morning. By October, the sky will still be completely dark at 5 o'clock in the morning, instead of sunrise starting at almost 3 when we count twilight getting brighter. But Neptune is there. It is visible, possibly easier to see in the evening time, but we can definitely see all of the planets that are visible to the naked eye, and Uranus out there here on the 22nd of October. Now let's have a look at a couple of other dates. We are getting a nice close conjunction between Mercury and Jupiter on the 22nd, so that probably is the best date. We can see Mars there making a very close conjunction with the bottom star in the sickle of Leo on the 24th as well. Which star is this? Regulus, of course, a fantastic star. So these things are passing so close together. I wouldn't be surprised, not so much for Mercury and Jupiter, but there we go, seeing Jupiter's moons and Mercury at the same time, that looks fantastic. For Mercury and Jupiter, they're both very small dots, of course, even if they are so close to us. With Mars and Regulus, Regulus is so far away. They do look like they're separated by too great of a distance, too great of an angle. The angular distance across the sky there seems to be too great. Too great for a simple change in our latitude to cause them to line up. Unfortunately, it probably won't be an occultation. But all the same, all of those planets in the sky together, another parade of planets. Neptune not visible to the naked eye, not visible in the sky, so not quite the same as the parade of planets we just got. But here we are just a few years in the future. So the planets that are actually visible, if you don't have an incredibly big telescope, if you missed them for the most recent parade of planets, here we are in just a few short years' time, which is not incredibly unbelievable or unpredictable or unexpected. Having a parade of planets again in the near-ish future, where it is all of the planets visible to the naked eye in the sky at the same time, I'm not surprised that it's happening again. But we do usually look a lot further into the future than this, and we are going to go even further again, up to 2079. I was given a little bit more information about this one. Going all the way forward to 2079, there is going to be a close conjunction or occultation of Mars and Mercury. Now, I'm not sure what time of year this will be happening at, but by going through the year a little bit, it shouldn't be too hard to figure out. Of course, we know that occultations, we know that anything involving Mercury is going to have to happen very close to sunset or very close to sunrise. So, to make this a little bit easier on myself, instead of hopping between sunset and sunrise, we're going to remove the atmosphere. We're going to take a look at the relative positions of Mercury and Mars. And there we go. That definitely looks to be an occultation. We'll take a closer look. So this is the 11th of August. So the 11th of August isn't too far away this year, of course, but we're looking at the 11th of August in 2079. So we are looking pretty far into the future. Now we can see here how quickly Mercury moves. Going under the ground, that's okay. We're going to have to change location for this one anyway. It's not going to look its best here in Ireland. But there we go, and that looks like pretty much, I think we had a look at this already when it's almost a perfect overlap, but not exactly. So we are going to change location, and I was told that this looks best from the Middle East. Now that does push us at a different time. Looking at the sky from the Middle East means we'll be seeing things a little bit earlier. The Middle East is further east than Ireland. So we'll go from right in the middle of the peninsula. We'll go from right in the middle there. That should be far enough. So let's pull back out. Should be able to get to Mars there. And okay, that does look like it is perfect. Absolutely perfect. The fact that we can see Phobos and Deimos around Mercury. It looks like Mercury got a pair of moons for itself. Of course it didn't. Of course that is Mercury completely, perfectly occulting Mars. And we know, oh, okay, I might actually need to change things because that's under the horizon. If I bring them above the horizon, they won't be so perfect anymore. Indeed, we can see that difference there. So I need to go further east than where I had originally gone. Going further east means we will be shifting our perspective so that these things are already above the horizon. The sun rises in the east before it rises here in the west. So we're going to go a little bit further. I guess, I was told to take a look in the Middle East. This is what many people call Southern Asia, but that feels more like in the middle of the Afro-Eurasian continent to me, and it looks like we're really, really close here. We do, of course, want Mercury and Mars to be above the horizon while the sun is still under the horizon, so I may have to adjust this back. Oh, I'll have to adjust it back anyway for the time to work out. So there we go. We'll pause the time because, of course, Stellarium runs on real time. All of the seconds that I waste zooming out, they are seconds where the positions of things in the sky will change. Oh, we're so close here. I will see. We'll bring up the ground. The sun is above the horizon, so it's daytime. We need to move a little bit back. We need to move a little bit closer, a little bit nearer to the west in the nearer east, so we're around here. Hopefully, these things can be a little bit finicky, of course. An occultation of a planet, occulting another planet, you really do have to be in the exact right location. So there we go. Okay, this is still perfect. That's really good. Differences of kilometers really do matter. For anyone who didn't get to see the recent total solar eclipses at their most perfect points, then you already know that if you're a little bit away from the exact maximum of the eclipse, you might as well be a million miles away from the exact maximum of the eclipse. But here we are. So it looks like we are at 33 degrees and 51 degrees. That looks like the exact perfect location. So it looks like we are here-ish around the bottom of the sea. That is Iran. Looks to be the exact perfect place to see this perfect occultation in 2079, which really isn't that far in the future compared to some of the other things that we have taken a look at. And I do have it on the books, as we say. I do have it planned for us to look even further into the future in a near video. Of course, I had actually planned to take a look even further into the future for this video, but rather than taking a look hundreds of years into the future, spending the time to get this absolutely perfectly lined up, that's going to look amazing even through a telescope, as long as you're in the right location to see it before the glow of the sun comes up. So we have only taken a look at 2 future events in this video. I do normally try to look at 3, but for this one in particular, in order to do it justice, in order to show it as perfectly as it deserves to be seen, it was worth spending an extra couple of minutes to get it in the right location. So we all, I hope, have October 22nd, 2028 to look forward to. That's not too far in the future. I'm confident I'll still be here to talk about it. This more distant one, 2079, it's not out of the question. There is a chance that I'll still be making YouTube videos when Mercury and Mars have this perfect occultation, and if I'm lucky enough, perhaps I'll be able to travel to a location where it is visible with this amount of perfection around here, around this location on Earth. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I will have more videos very soon looking at these future events, and if you have future events, or if you've heard of something cool that's happening in the future, or something cool that's happening from a location where you won't be able to see it, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know. You can head to my website, queevinscontent.ie, and comment there as well if you prefer, if you don't have a YouTube account, for example. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do like it, and you can also subscribe to this YouTube channel if you'd like to see more content like this. Most importantly, I hope I'll see you back here next time.